Hello everybody! Let's do this together! Now, before we get to the rankings, let me explain how I rated these DVDs. First of all, with math. We're gonna work with a point system of 100%. Here's how I'll describe my points with that. If you can't find the complete series on DVD, automatic -5. If there's a better edition in another country, -10. And if it's only available through Amazon distribution, that's gonna be another -10. And then lastly, if it's just a bunch of compilation discs with random episodes and some are repeats, but some are just never on DVD, that's a -20. Because it bothers me.
Worse than any criminal, angry, cruel, he will erase me.
The last best one I would say for the best DVDs are definitely Teen Titans. Teen Titans did such a good job because they released every season on DVD and the complete series DVD. While the complete series came like way later, at least like there was a way to watch every single episode along with that special, the Tokyo movie special. I don't remember the name, but it's cool. And like they kind of did the bare minimum of what I think all DVDs should be, which is like the individual season releases for like passive fans, but then the full series for mega fans. And if you're a really mega fan, you probably got both. But definitely like Teen Titans, because that's a lot. There's not much to say for other Cartoon Network show, once again. I'm giving this one 100% because I just think it is 100% everything you need out of a collection. Okay, so we got... Then, let's go to another Disney release, Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb is one of the most popular shows, not ever, but just in general. Like, I would definitely think people liked it as much as they liked SpongeBob, even though it wasn't as popular and didn't have as long-lasting of an impression. But the very frustrating thing is how popular it was and how little releases they had. Like, they only did compilation releases. 5 episodes on this thing. So it wasn't common for Disney to put out a lot of these shows in full, but I just don't think that the level of how popular they were versus the need for DVDs counts in that regard. You know, like Phineas and Ferb, they released the movies, they released the specials, and they released a couple compilations, but there are so many episodes that are just unattainable to watch on a DVD player. I don't know why you need to have 2 DVDs if you only have 7 episodes. And that really bothers me. So I'm definitely giving this a really, really, really low score.
Get ready, because there's a whole lot of hero time coming with the Ben 10 DVD.
And this is probably one of the best Cartoon Network releases of all time, because shows like Chowder, Flapjack, Foster's Home, they would release like 1 or 2 seasons, but then kind of abandon it. But Ben 10 consistently released every season on DVD, as well as the movies like Race Against Time, and even continued into the other series. They always had a DVD, and most episodes were accounted for. So it's a really high number, but it's not 100%. I would say it's 90% because there's no compilations of this. There's no like special editions of this. It's just they kind of did the best, but I still give it a 90% because I feel like that is definitely one of the second best releases for Cartoon Network in general.
Hannah Montana's got a whole new look.
Hannah.
Then another worst one is Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana always bothered me, especially growing up, because I loved the show, but they only released compilation DVDs, really. I remember seeing like 1 in a Million, Popstar Profile. I remember like as being a kid being confused if there were supposed to be more episodes or if there wasn't, and I was just all around confused. And they did eventually release their first season on DVD, but it was kind of a tease because I thought they would release the other ones. And the thing that really bothers me about that is they released all the other ones in other countries. So like, sure, I bought them, yeah, but like there's volume in other countries. Like it's so much better. They have like every season in complete season packages, and then also volumes. Like this is volume 1. There's only 2 discs in it, but honestly those DVDs are so cool. I just had to get them from the other country. Yeah, so I have the second season on the UK. I kind of like it better than the season sets. Yeah, and they got all the episodes listed too. Cool, right? It literally did not release in this country, therefore it was not accessible. So Hannah Montana I would consider one of the more not cool ones.
There comes a time in every journey when you realize there's no turning back.
Third best is Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. This is like one of the last ones that I think have 100% because it's one of the popular shows that was willing to put out the episodes in as many formats as possible. And I love, isn't it cool how consistent the episodes are, and they're themed after like the element of that season. Like these are all red, and I really admire that. Like for example, like Avatar had every volume individually released. Like they have book 1 Water Volume 1, book 1 Water Volume 2, and on top of that they released the entire book 1 collection, the entire book 2 collection, and the entire book 3 collection. Legend of Korra, look at this like glow. I wish the original like DVDs for these had a glow kind of like this. Like I would kind of put them in the same category. I mean, Legend of Korra didn't have individual volume releases, but they did have every season on DVD right when it came out, and that was like a really good sign. On top of that, Avatar did have the complete series release. They are the exact same DVD as the individual sets, so they just keep repurposing these. I'm not complaining. The new packaging, the new art, and some of them have new special features that has a lot, that vouches in its favor. And also there's a collector's edition of the first season again. See, that is beautifully designed. I didn't get it yet because that's not like my favorite show of all time, but I really do appreciate how good the box art looks.
Fairly OddParents also feature-length movie channel chasers on DVD, starring Timmy Turner like you've never seen him before. Lots of DVD exclusive.
Now, so back to the worst list, we've got the Fairly OddParents. Surprisingly, despite being a huge hit, the DVD releases have been way less than magical. So, some seasons were released in full, like Season 6 Part 1, which I don't even think is full. Like, that was one of their only releases for seasons outside of the compilation DVDs. Back then, they had, like, Nicktoons Halloween, Nicktoons Christmas, Nick Picks, like, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, and Fairly OddParents was always connected to those, as well as they had, like, the School's Out DVD, Channel Chasers DVD, but those are like all justified DVDs. Like it's very clear they did the bare minimum for getting their content out there. And what's even more cringe to me is the fact that Amazon was the one to kind of spearhead that. Amazon has all the seasons on DVD as season sets, but they're kind of very bare bones. Like they feel like a direct to DVD disc. They just feel like somebody moved a file onto a disc. The actual discs look fan-made, and the box art has nothing interesting about it. There's not even behind the scenes on any of these DVDs, and don't get me started on the DVD menus. It's literally just like a play all or episode select, and there's like not even music. Let alone, and the most frustrating thing, they re-released Season 6 on Amazon. And that's weird because they released Season 6 Part 1, but then they released the complete 6th season. So it's like, okay, if you really want the 6th season and you bought the first copy, then you definitely are out of luck when they put the full thing out. And that's when as a fan you feel cheated, that's when it's like next level disappointment. I'm gonna start the bar at 80% just because I hate this so much, so I'm gonna give this a 60%.
Cartoon Network's got the goods, and we can't keep them under wraps.
So one of the next big releases is Adventure Time, also scoring 100%. These series had fantastic releases. Every season was available, both individually and as a full series collection. Plus, there was another full series collection that came out a little bit later that was like a collector's edition, which was also really top tier. They definitely kept all the behind the scenes stuff and everything that worked about the Adventure Time DVD releases, And on top of that, they had compilation DVDs too. They had a bunch of Adventure Time one-offs with random episodes, and I love when they're able to somehow manage both and get people to buy both. It has to be a good marketing thing as well as anything else. Jesus, this art is gorgeous. Can you focus in on that, boys? Wow. Oh my god, it's so detailed. Woo! This is my favorite though. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I always followed Adventure Time because, you know, year after year they did continue to keep up with their DVDs and made sure that like there was a place to find them. Even their final DVD, like they mashed 3 seasons together, which normally I would kind of like not be into, but I definitely feel like it's more than what other Cartoon Network shows have done in the past. So I think it's gonna be fair to give this also an 100%.
Available now on DVD. When you see what's in store for iCarly Season 2 Volume 1...
iCarly almost made it onto the best list, but for some like solid season releases, the lack of comprehensive box sets kept it out of the top 5. Every release was great, despite the fact Season 2 Volume 3 was essentially Season 3. And mislabeled pretty much. I accidentally sold these when I originally got them, and now I just got back the ones I really liked, which is Season 2 Volume 1 and Season 2 Volume 3. But like they genuinely did not release their final season on DVD, and there's nothing worse than having almost a perfect collection. In this instant, I'm starting to lose control of this point system, so I'm just gonna give this a 20%, just because it bothers me so much. Now let's talk about the worst release number 1.
Nickelodeon's breakout hit show, Drake and Josh. Available for the first time ever on DVD.
Drake and Josh takes the cake here. The DVDs are a mess. They put out a compilation of probably some episodes in the first season on their Suddenly Brothers set, and then Drake and Josh Goes Hollywood. You know, they had some of the specials on, but way less than any other on Nickelodeon. But it also bothered me that they also had Amazon-only releases, which is going to be minus another 10%. They did the best of seasons 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which means they're not even all the episodes, which I kind of find ridiculous, especially for being one of like the most popular shows at the time. It just bothers me that they never even tried to do too much with it. You'll have to, like, you have to be really knowledgeable about DVDs to get Drake and Josh DVDs, and it's like, why would anybody be that into that, you know? If you want all the episodes, you'll really have to, like, hunt them down, and even on streaming, they have a problem finding them all. So, if, you know, like, it does really matter, like, how accessible it is.
In a world of undersea adventure, in a town that has no air, one sea creature stands alone.
Okay, coming in first for the best release is a fan favorite. Not too surprising, it's SpongeBob SquarePants. Perfect score of 100%. The series had literally everything. They had every season released. They had compilations. I'm not gonna get into this now, but they had VHSs. The Beast. You guys have probably seen this in a million of these, although they are my favorite collection. I mean, look at this. Love it. Certain point, but now I'm over it. But now I'm like, oof, more box. Last, like, original, season 6 is the last time they did, like, original, like, box art before they started really going in on the updated ones. Every movie, and then they re-released every season on complete packages, while some of them may have redone their packages for it. The COVID era. I was nostalgic for this. I'm not a big fan of, but it still counts. And they've done this consistently since the 2000s. Like, they've had old DVDs like Home Sweet Pineapple, Friend or Foe, Karate Island, Lost in Time, Spongekiss, Sea Stories, just to name a few. I really want to give this a great score because not only have they released compilation videos, but they also released it alongside the season sets, and then they've never really gone a full year without having some kind of release. And, you know, that has to do with the popularity, but that's not really my place to judge. And then of course they have the top 100 episodes. And if it would not be getting 100% score if it didn't do the next 100 episodes, and more recently announced the best 200 episodes, which is a compilation that nobody asked for, but I'm welcoming it. And while some of these DVDs may have just been like straightforward, I would say, ports of the other DVDs onto new box sets, I still appreciate the new box art. Nickelodeon nailed it by giving fans multiple chances to get their hands on an entire series in different formats. Although for some people it's probably confusing that you bought the season set, but then also a compilation DVD has the same episodes. This is gorgeous! And you have like little plankton coming in on the side. A tradition that they also continued with season 3. Oh, almost fell out. Overall, every DVD thing, that's always going to be happening. But they've always constantly delivered, and it's no surprise or even a doubt that SpongeBob would take the top spot. Overall, it's about how your DVDs connect to the fans. Like, DVDs are considered like this kind of, if it's a physical media, it's kind of like an art. It's like you have to convince somebody why they need to get it. And especially in the world of streaming, I think DVDs carry more of a weight to them. I think looking back, it's more of an insult or exciting to know that these things are accessible. And don't get me started on the amount of episodes they did or did not release for these shows on Paramount and streaming services. That's all going to be for another video. But in the meantime, like, these are definitely my top choices, and I am pretty happy with them. Though some of the worst were definitely ones that are incomplete or have duplicate episodes, and that's just like what I'm not a fan of. Some of these DVDs, they ended up having like a complete set later, but it's like 10 years too late, buddy. Overall, I just want to say, like, you know, obviously there's just so many to go around with, and these are my personal opinions, but these are my personal opinions. Obviously some shows are probably worse and better, but I just kind of wanted to share my personal opinion of my collection. Do you agree with my top picks? If you're like a DVD collector, I'm kind of curious what you look for when you're buying a DVD collection, or what deters you from actually committing to getting one. Whether it was like way back when they were actually coming out, or now. Do you guys have a collection? Like, let me know what your guys' favorite box set is, or any compilation DVDs. I love talking about DVDs, so please just share.